Dear students, good evening to everyone. Now today I will teach you some important chapters that is related with the topics of vectors. Let us start vectors, बच्चों. Now today we have discussed the basic concept of vectors, which I have done earlier, but they are very much useful in your plus 2 physics. Let us take one of the vector concept है हमारा है unit vector. But there are other vectors also, but important is unit vector. How to write unit vector, how to define it. You know the vector, unit vector of any vector which is represented by a cap, they have the same direction as that of a bigger vector and whose magnitude is almost 1. Now another definition point of view say a cap means unit vector A can define the ratio of the vector towards magnitude. It clarifies that the direction of unit vector as well bigger vector along the same direction. और डेफिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से हमने याद रखना है, इसको ऐसे डिफाइन करना है. अनदर इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक which will be very useful in your plus 2 physics, parallelogram vectors. Definition will be clear to everybody. If two vectors are represented by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then the resultant given by their diagonal in magnitude and direction. By knowing all this, we have to give the knowledge how to apply this parallelogram law in different situations and for different angle the value of theta here, because the resultant depends on the value of theta also, which is you should be very much you have to concentrate on this topic, that theta as theta vary, resultant will also vary. Another topic जो है resolving vectors. Resolving vector is very important topic, which is the separating of vectors into two components. बच्चों हमने जैसे एडिशन किया है पैरेललोग्राम से, और resolving vector इसका रिवर्स है. In the parallelogram vectors क्या है, we find one single vector of the two given vectors that is called resultant. But in the case of resolving vectors क्या है, we have to divide single given vector in two components. So the one thing you have to remember here, while you are going to discuss the resolving concept of vectors, you will see now, as in the present case I have shown here, we have given vector A acting in xy plane, which is making angle theta with x-axis. Now it will have two rectangular resolving components. One is known as AX means along x-axis, another AY along y-axis. The more important thing to remember here is the resolving component along x-axis will have A cos theta. Another resolving component which should be perpendicular to AX, that will have A by A sin theta. Similarly, in the second diagram, I have changed the value of theta. I have changed the theta axis of the theta. In this case now, vector A acting the xy plane making theta with y axis. So definitely the resolving component जो x axis वाला था वहाँ sin आ जाएगा, यहाँ पे cos theta आ जाएगा. This resolving component is very much useful in some of the concept which we will study in plus 2, as I have shown here one example which indicates in what manner how you can use the concept of resolving vector. It is related with the second chapter of plus 2 physics है. तो इसमें हमने we have shown a diagram, a triangle in which two vectors are showing E1 and E2. No doubt E1 E2 they are acting as shown. If we want to find out the resultant by making use of the resolving component of vectors, now you will see here this theta will be the same, and this theta this will be the same. It means E1, you see now E1 will have two resolving components in this xy plane. Now along this axis the resolving component of E2 cos theta, either E2 sin theta. Now regarding this component, E2 will have two component, E2 sin theta, E2 cos theta. Cos theta इधर आ गया दोनों का, क्यों एक्सिस के साथ थीटा बन रहा है. So by using this concept, if E1 E2 are equal, this will cancel out and resultant will very simple. Resultant electric field will be दोनों का सम हो जाएगा. अगर बोल दो दोनों सेम है तो E2 E cos theta. It is very simple concept है, which will be useful in plus 2 physics. Now another component, another topic of resolving vector is the position vector. ये position vector आपने revision के लिए है. By knowing the position vector R1 R2 यहाँ पे हमारे initial position vector final position vector है, because this vector shows that A is the final position, B is the initial position of the body in xy plane. तो y using the triangle also, इसमें triangle दोनों यूज किए हमने. इन दोनों में डिफरेंस क्या है? इसमें मैंने डायरेक्शन A to B कर दी है, इसमें B to A कर दी है. तो इट इंडिकेट्स दैट by using the triangle of vectors, it is clear that R2 will be the resultant here, but here R1 will be the resultant, because two sides of a triangle taking the same order, third will be the resultant taking the opposite order. तो इसमें हमने दो कंसेप्ट यूज किए हैं प्रैक्टिस के लिए, रिजॉल्विंग कंपोनेंट ट्रायंगल ऑफ वेक्टर्स एंड पोजीशन वेक्टर्स. दिस टॉपिक है will be very useful in plus 2 physics. So I hope that you will get in very much detail, and you will be very familiar when you come into the enter into the plus 2 class. So thank you everybody. I hope you will be okay everyone.